Ark Survival Evolved. Man, where do I begin, bro? I honestly think this is one of the best games of all time. I mean, just the amount of memories and just moments I cherish from playing this game. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you relate to this because you clicked this video. You've probably played Ark before, especially Ark Survival Evolved. Now, for the people that don't know much about Ark Survival Evolved, you probably clicked this video just to watch something. This game was essentially a dinosaur survival game which had elements of PvE and it also had elements of PvP in it, but mainly the community had a PvE side and also a PvP side, but I was mainly on the PvP side because I really enjoyed the PvP in this game, and the PvP in this game is a nightmare. Now, don't get this confused with Ark Survival Ascendant. Ark Survival Ascendant is the newest version of Ark Survival Evolved, but I want to talk about the old Ark because that's where we hold the most memories and the most moments we had over playing this game. Honestly, this game was pretty much like another Minecraft to me. It probably wasn't the same story for you because Ark, it has a lot of opinions on it. Some people think it's a bad game, some people think it's a good game, some people say that the game needs work, and it does need a lot of work, but at the same time it's still a very great game, especially Evolved. We have to take into consideration that pretty much every game has flaws. Every game has their good and bad side. That is just a part of game design. So all the annoying bugs and exploits that people do on Ark, I mean, some of them can be fixed, maybe some of them can't, but that's just game design. Game design has bad things that happen in it and good things. That's just the overall balance. Now let's tell my story of how I came to know this game, and if you watch this video fully, I actually want to see your stories with this game in the comments. Tell me about how you found out about this game. Tell me about the memories that you have from this game, the greatest moments with your friends, the PvP aspect, pretty much everything. Tell me. Now, I remember getting Ark in like 2017, I remember I had Ark for a while and I didn't really like it at first, so I never really loaded up Ark and never really played it. But one day I just decided to play it, and it was PvE, I remember, and I just decided to play Ark and I fell in love. Once I started getting into the game, I started getting the tames, building up my base. I remember when I first tamed the trike and figured out how to make more narcotics and just started taming tons of stuff, and I kept building up a base in PvE and it became a super big base. But I just got hooked on this game, man, and I played PvE for a while until a friend told me, because my friend got the game because of me, and eventually we just started playing the game, and we was playing Ark for years and years. But when I play, I just got hooked on this game, and it took a big part of my life. I have about like at least 3,000 hours on this game, and the thing is, 3,000 hours isn't even close to what most players have on Ark. Most players on Ark have like at least, I mean, I know some players that have like 10,000 hours on this game. This game genuinely took a big piece of our lives. And another thing, the amount of knowledge you have on this game. There's so much aspects of this game, like the crafting, strategies when it comes to PvP, base locations, hiding spots. Like, it's just a ton of stuff to know in this game, and Ark just has so much information that you need to process when playing this game. And you probably have like more knowledge on Ark than you do in school. Like, some people genuinely do. I mean, I kind of have more knowledge on Ark than a lot of school subjects like math, history, but I'm just an expert when it comes to Ark. Ark was also a game that you could just come back to every now and then. Like, the replayability in this game was just so high because it was a love-hate relationship with this game. Like, if you got raided or something, you would just quit the game for a couple months, but you would always come back to this game for more because you loved that central journey, especially in PvP, just building up, getting tames. I mean, eventually you would get wiped, but you would still love the process of just going through that because it was just fun. That's the only word. It was fun. And another element is the maps for Ark. The reason why Ark, well, it never really got too repetitive because they would always release maps. Now, all of the maps, pretty much everybody can remember for this game. They had maps like Aberration, which is amazing. I honestly think Aberration is probably the best Ark map, mainly because of the challenge. Because flyers in this game, they made stuff less challenging. In Aberration, it was no flyers, so the game was a lot challenging than just the other standard map like the island. But just the amount of maps in this game, now I'm pretty sure all of us can remember the maps: Aberration, Scorched Earth, Valgero, Crystal Isles, the island, the center, Ragnarok. Oh, I remember Ragnarok. Ragnarok is most people's favorite map, but the center is personally my favorite map, bro, because it's just so aesthetically pleasing. Like the waterfalls, the floating rocks, the ambience, the map. Like, I honestly think it's one of the most beautiful maps Ark put out. And honestly, all of the maps are beautiful. I mean, look at the blue zone in Aberration. I mean, that place is phenomenal. Another thing that made Ark great is the amount of variety Ark had. Ark had so much to do rather than just the aspect of PvP. And it was still a lot of stuff you could do. Well, you didn't need PvP because it was PvE. I mean, it was dinos to tame, bases to build, and plus the bosses. The bosses were a pretty big aspect in this game. Because similar to Minecraft has like the Ender Dragon, the Wither, pretty much bosses you can fight. I mean, Minecraft doesn't really have a big aspect of PvP. I mean, it's PvP in the game, but it's not like a big aspect of PvP when you compare it to Ark. But the only thing about the bosses is that it was super grindy because you had to go to the caves to pretty much get all of the artifacts. Now, the caves were fun. Now, I remember me and my friend going into the cave, not even looking for the artifact, but I remember we had like 2 pump shotguns and we just went in the cave. And I remember it was the lava golem cave on Ragnarok. If you remember that cave, you know. But I remember we had 2 pump shotguns and we had to go in the cave and just shotgun our way through an entire army of bats. And the caves, that was some of the most fun I think I've ever had on Ark. Ark is also another one of those games that just has longevity. Like GTA 5 and Minecraft, for example. GTA 5 and Minecraft have been around for like 10 plus years and are still very, very popular. Now, I'm not saying Ark is on the same level as Minecraft and GTA 5, but it does have some longevity to it, considering it came out in like 2015, I believe. And you know, nowadays we have Ark Survival Ascendant. And I would say Ark Survival Ascendant is not in a great state right now. I mean, it could be in a better state, but it's still around. And Ark still has its longevity. And whatever happened to Ark 2? Because I remember the trailer for Ark 2 got teased back in the year of 2022, I remember. And it's still no sign of Ark 2. Now, I think Ark Survival Ascendant was supposed to raise money for Ark 2, so I don't know. If you know anything about that, please let me know in the comments. I would very much appreciate it. And Ark is nowhere near the perfect game. This game has a ton of flaws, but don't all the games have flaws? But let's just discuss the flaws in this game. Number 1, it's way too grindy. Now, you might just say I'm complaining. Maybe I am, but this is me expressing my opinion. This game was just way too grindy. Like, a lot of you probably noticed. I'm pretty sure a lot of you noticed, especially if you play PvP on official servers. Like, this was legit like having a full-time job. This is why we have so many hours on Ark, because we put all of these hours into the game specifically on official. Like, on official, it took forever to tame stuff, especially if you remember 1x official. It was 1x officials. It would take like 4 hours just to tame like a Therizinosaur or something. It was absolutely ridiculous. This is why a lot of people quit Ark. Like, it just got way too grindy. And I also know you could play custom servers, but I honestly don't feel like custom servers give off the same vibe as official. Maybe that's just me because I played on official basically throughout the entirety of this game. And some of you might remember loading up Ark in the middle of the night and hearing this. Yeah, that intro right there, that intro scared a lot of us at night. However, hearing that intro brings back a lot of good memories. You know, another good thing about Ark was the community. You could always jump on like Reddit or something, or if you pretty much needed help with something. Now, Ark, the community, it can be good, it can be bad, because they just have some players that are just buttholes, but they also have players that are just angels, man. I remember getting help on this game from like players just giving me like the most OP loot, helping me out, and then I remember running to the bad players who will wipe a thatch base or like a stone base, the Alpha Tribe mainly. Now, if you remember Alpha Tribes were basically like the strongest tribe on the server. So if you was trying to build up on a specific server, you had to watch out for the Alpha Tribe, because if they saw you, it was a good chance they was gonna wipe your base. Even if it was thatch or stone, they are going to wipe it. But in my Ark experience, I've ran into good and bad Alpha Tribes, because some good Alpha Tribes will actually try to help the lower level players. Alpha Tribes just don't want tribes to build up as strong as they are, because they think they could have the potential to take them down if they were to get strong enough. It's kind of like overthrowing the government in a way. Now, I'm just mainly talking about the PvP aspect of the game, because obviously I'm a PvP player. You might be a PvP player, or you might just be somebody who plays single player on Ark, so you don't understand nothing I'm talking about, because I'm basically talking about the PvP side of the game. Now, another comparison I've seen with other survival games, because Ark has been compared to a lot of survival games, is Rust. Rust and Ark players, man, they will never get along, because they always debate over what is the better game. Now, you probably like Rust more than Ark, so you probably gonna jump in the comments. If you think Rust is better than Ark, tell me why. Now, personally, I think Ark is better than Rust. So, if you think Rust is better in the comments, please give me a reason why you think that. But for me, Ark just has so much more than Rust for some reason, because obviously you had all the different variations of dinosaurs you could tame. Then you had all the base locations, plus all the maps you can explore. Now, I don't know if Rust has multiple maps, but you know, Ark had like tons of maps, so it always wouldn't get old because you could just go to a new map. Ark was such a grindy game, but I just feel like it's one of the greatest games of all time. Maybe not to you. Now, obviously Ark has flaws, but man, bro, just so many fun and memories with this game. That's all I could think of. Despite the bad experiences with this game, I genuinely think Ark is one of the greatest games of all time, and maybe you think that too. If you think that, put it in the comments. Now, let's talk about the map specifically for this game. Now, for the first point, not all of the maps were perfect. Ark, every map they made was not perfect, but every map was at least fun to play on, in my opinion. Maybe not, but all of the maps had some fun to them. Now, I think in total there were, I don't even know the amount of total maps there were, but I'm gonna call them off. They had Genesis 2, Genesis 1, Aberration, Scorched Earth, Island Center, Valgaro, Ragnarok. Now, Ragnarok is a map a lot of people loved, because when Ragnarok was first introduced, it basically was like the best map to get resources on, like besides the island. Plus they had the desert biome. Now, I remember when Ragnarok got first added, the desert biome wasn't there, but later it got added on, and this was actually good because a lot of people who couldn't get Scorched Earth at the time, if you remember when the Scorched Earth DLC came out, they had some content that you couldn't get for free, and that was the wyverns. However, when Ragnarok came out, you were able to get the wyverns even if you didn't own Scorched Earth. Now, I owned every Ark map. Me and my friend had every single map that came out, simply because we just loved Ark and going on all the maps, having new base locations and all that. But Ark, they kept doing this. Like, first they would make a map that had some content on it that if you couldn't pay for that map, you wouldn't get that content. But then they would just make a new free map, I believe, and then you would be able to get that content, which was nice. But I also want to talk about Ark Survival Ascendant and Ark Survival Evolved as well, and compare them, because obviously Ascendant does some stuff better than Evolved, and I feel like Evolved did some stuff better than Ascendant. Let's get into it. Let's get Ark Survival Ascendant out the way first. Now, Ark Survival Ascendant changed a lot of things, specifically the chiropod. Now, you know about the chiropod if you played this game a while. The chiropod was essentially where you could just store creatures, basically, and it was convenient. You didn't have to bring like 50 creatures and make them all walk in a straight line to another location. You could just absorb them and get to your other location super fast. However, they changed the chiropod in Ark Survival Ascendant to where you needed a chiro fridge to throw them out. In Ark Survival Evolved, you didn't need a chiro fridge just to throw a dino out of a chiropod. Having a chiro fridge in the vicinity is just pretty freaking annoying, man. Now, I can understand where they're coming from because of PvP purposes, because chiropods were pretty broken in PvP. Now, if you're a PvP player, I'm pretty sure you heard of the Pocket Giga. Now, for those players who don't know, the Pocket Giga was basically, now you know the Giga was basically like the strongest creature in Ark. Somebody could have a Giga in the chiropod and just throw it out onto enemies or something, jump on the Giga and just kill everybody, basically just throw it out like a Pokeball. So I feel like it was changed for PvP purposes. So I mean, I can understand it, but at the same time it's pretty annoying. And when it comes to caves, you used to be able to take your chiropod to a cave, throw the creature out, but now you need to bring a chiro fridge with you. And in PvP, you have to constantly make chiro fridges just going around the map to do things. I mean, it's annoying. This is where we get to the bad things of Ark. Now, this is Ark in general. Now, pillar spam. Now, if you remember pillar spam, bro, this was so annoying. How do you have the entire time in your day to pillar the entire map of the game so nobody else could build? I'm convinced people who pillar spam did not have a life. Now, I could see if it's like in PvP purposes of a specific area, but to pillar the entire map just so other people can build, like, come on, dude, do better. Now, I can understand Ark Survival Ascendant is designed to be superior to Ark Survival Evolved, but you know, I'm kind of just nostalgia biased, man. I just love Evolved, but I love Ascendant too, bro. The graphics for Ascendant are amazing, man. Like, some of the best graphics I've ever seen. Like, it's really crazy how good graphics are becoming. I believe it's the Unreal Engine 5. Like, the graphics in games nowadays are just becoming insane. Like, in this day and age, you can always expect a game to have good graphics. I just really dislike the chiropod problem. Also, the wait for the other maps, bro. For Ascendant, they had like a roadmap pretty much for all the maps that were involved. They're going to remaster all the maps, and in my current time, Aberration is out, but Aberration looks good. However, some of the maps can have some improvement. I could make an entire video just talking about the design of the maps in Ascendant and then the design of the maps in Evolved, but let's not be on that topic for too long. But another thing is the boss fights. Another thing I did not like in this game is how grindy the boss fights was. Like, how much stuff you needed, especially on the PvP server, because I actually did the boss fights on the PvP server. It was grind, man. It took me like a week just to pull it off, bro. And if I messed one thing up, I would have lost all my progress, bro. I didn't like how much the bosses needed prep. Like, I get they bosses, you need a lot to defeat them, but it shouldn't take like an entire week to prepare for a boss fight, bro. Like, the boss fights in this game are just way too grindy. I wish it was like less of a grind for the boss fights. Like, I understand you gotta get like tech and stuff in the tech, because everybody knows tech is OP in this game. Tech turrets and on and on. I just wish it was like a little easier. But back to the difficulty of each map. Now each map basically had a difficulty level. So like Genesis 1, bro, this map was like so freaking hard, bro. Genesis 1, Ab, and Scorched Earth are the hardest maps in Ark. Scorched Earth is extremely hard, mainly because of the heat, and basically almost every area in Scorched Earth is like super dangerous. Now I like the maps that was challenging, but me and my friend jumped into Scorched Earth on Ark Ascendant and we could just not progress, man. Like we just kept dying and dying. We eventually raged off. Aberration was also like super hard to start up on because, you know, all the Ravengers, and there's no flyers, bro. And what's another map that was hard? Genesis 1 was also super hard and evolved. Like the missions in this map, all of the biomes were like just there. Now I remember the bog, they had the annoying swamp swarms or whatever. It was like the bog swarms or whatever, or the mosquito swarms or whatever. But like it was just so annoying on Genesis 1, bro. That map was hard. Every biome was hard, bro. Genesis 1 might low-key be the hardest Ark map to start on. Another thing to mention is the ocean in Ark, bro. That was like an entirely different biome because all of the threats in the ocean. I remember the alpha mosasaur, and I had like some aquatic tame or something, and it like one-shotted it. And I was just freaking shocked, bro. Like the ocean was legit scary in Ark, bro. But it always had, you know, each area in Ark or biome always had their own unique creatures and like new challenges in it. Like the redwoods, for example. And the redwoods is just hell there. The redwoods in the snow, bro, it was legit just hell in those areas. In the snow, it was just freaking wolves and carnos and Argentavis all just fighting each other, so you would just get attacked every second in the snow. And the redwoods, they had the thylacoleos. If you don't know, those were the guys who would hang on the trees, and if you fly by, they would just kill you and your tame pretty much in seconds. That happened to me a lot, especially when you first play this game. That was legit a whole jump scare. But yeah, each environment basically has their own challenges, and that's what's fun with Ark, bro. I mean, it's just so much to do in Ark. I mean, all the creatures you could tame, all the maps you could explore. Plus on the PvP side, it's a lot to do that with raiding, scouting bases. I mean, Ark, I mean, it offers a lot, and this is why I prefer Ark like over other survival games like Rust or something. Bro, not to even mention the swamp in this game, bro. The swamp was literally hell, bro. Like you legit get jump scared here. Like the Caprosaurus would just jump out of nowhere. Bro, everybody hates the swamp. Not to mention the lore of Ark, bro. I haven't even talked about the lore yet, bro. Bro, why do games that don't have a focused story like have such intricate and complicated lore, bro? Like the Ark lore is just legit so complex, but I could basically give a rundown of the knowledge that I have. This is probably not true. I'm just going off of what I know. So essentially, I believe humanity had to leave Earth, well, like because some kaijus or they were using up too much energy or something. So they had to leave Earth because Earth basically became a wasteland. And the wasteland in Extinction, well, Extinction, the map in Ark is actually Earth, and humanity had to leave Earth, and they created these arcs. Now all of the arcs are basically the maps you play on. So like Scorched Earth, the island, those are all like arcs, and these arcs are legit above Earth, and these were created that like humanity can basically like live on, and that's why dinosaurs and stuff were in the game. But they basically had to leave Earth, and then you go back to Earth in Extinction. And that's only a little part of the lore. There's way more to the lore, man. Like, it's always the games that does not focus on story have the most detailed and complicated lore. I probably had a horrible explanation of the Ark lore, so any pros in the comments, correct me on that, because I don't have a lot of knowledge on this lore. I just know the basics and stuff, so I know you probably got mad at that, but put it down in the comments about the Ark lore. Yeah, but Ark is a truly beautiful game, man. Like the graphics, the memories, just the everything, man. Like, bugs and flaws aside, this game is like just truly beautiful, man. And it's always something I'ma think about every day and cherish from just the amount of fun and memories I had on this. And I also just remember taming the Giga for the first time. The Giga was like basically the best tame you could get in the game, bro. When I tamed the Giga for the first time, I truly felt unstoppable, bro. But I just been talking about the good moments I've had with this game and all that. But this video is getting a bit too long, so we need to wrap it up. Now, I know a lot of people have different opinions on Ark. Some people think the game is super trash. Some people love the game. But I want to leave this video and your opinion on this up to you. Do you think Ark is a good game? Do you think Ark is a bad game? I want a full explanation of why you think Ark is a bad game or why Ark is a good game, because I need to know. I want to hear other people's opinions on this, because I think Ark is one of the greatest games of all time. That's my opinion. So, people, jump in the comments and give me your opinions, and I would love to read them, love to respond to them. And I'm going to end this video. And if you watched the video this long, until next time, thank you.